Hi everyone, so in this video I'm going to prove the quadratic formula, and this is one of those formulas that it's hard to remember. This one is that some kind of b squared minus 4ac, something like that, right? You don't really exactly remember the whole thing really, and I completely understand you. It's a hassle to remember it. And it goes something like this, right? Hopefully you remember. It's this. It's minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So that's pretty long, right? And where does this come from? What does this give us? This gives us the roots. The roots of the standard equation. If we're given something like this, right? And usually we use this when we can't factor, right? If we're given something and we can't factor it, we would use this when we find the roots. This x is for both of the roots because you see you have a plus and a minus, okay? This is the radical square root sign. Okay, and the interesting thing is we do this, but we don't really know where these numbers come from. We just plug them in, you know, where did it come from? And the interesting thing is it came from this. This is what we are going to work with in order to get this. It's really quite, amazing and fascinating in a way. So I'm not bringing any crazy new formulas, ideas, nothing new. We're just gonna move things around and you will see what we're gonna get from this to that. Okay? So what I'm going to do is start over here. I'm going to copy that. So we had ax squared plus bx plus c plus 0. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, I need some starting base. So I'm going to divide everything by a because I want this x squared to be alone. Okay? And you'll see why. I'm going to divide everything by a. If I divide these guys by a, I have to divide the other side. This cancels, right? You get an x squared plus b over a x plus c over a plus 0. Now this is our constant, correct? The x squared, the x, and the constant, right? So I want my constant to be on this side. Okay, so I'm going to move this side, and I'm going to be left with x minus c over a, correct? Okay, now is the time where I will do something that you should be familiar with. I'm going to complete the square. If you're not familiar with it, which is perfectly fine, you can watch my other video on how to do this, the easiest way for me. Anyway, I apologize for that. Okay, so the goal of completing a square is finding this value, this last value. So we're going to be filling in a space plus something equals negative c. Okay? This something can be obtained from this little formula. So the b, which is this guy in this case, because it's really a, b, and c, right? This is the a term. I mean, if you look at our original, right? A, B, and C. We moved the C over here. We just simplified things, but this is our B. This is still our B. Whatever we did to it, this is our B. So B over A is our B. If I plug it into our formula, so I can get this value, let's see what we get. So it's B over A, this thing, divided by 2. This whole thing is squared. Now I'm going to do everything on the inside first, see what we can get. This divided by 2 is the same thing as b over a times 1 over 2. And that's going to be b over 2a. And if we just distribute the squaring business, we get b squared over a squared. So this is the value we are adding here. So we are adding b squared over 4a squared. Is that correct? Yes. And if, I'm just gonna erase this quickly, I'm sorry. I need to find another way to do this. It's a little, okay. And if we are adding this guy that we found, completing a square goal, you know, we found this, we added to this side, we have to do the same to the other. So we're gonna add a b squared over 4a squared to this side as well. And the goal, of course, of completing a square, you know, is to make things easier, to make it prettier, a perfect square. And if we do that, it's gonna look like that. We're gonna do this after. And you know, if something looks a little too confusing to factor or you don't like it, what you really have to do is square root the first a value, this front thing, and this last one, and you will get your perfect square. So the square root of x is an x, right? Plus the square root of b squared is a b, square root of 4 is a 2, square root of a squared is an a. And there you go. Everything's positive, so you know you have a positive sign here. Or you could mentally factor it, and you would get the same answer. Okay? And let me just simplify this, use basic, you know, my fraction skills to put this under one denominator. And if I do that, I will get, what should I do first? Okay, I'll do that. I'll get ab squared plus, minus 4a squared c, right? Divided by 4a squared, 4a cubed. Okay? Just gonna, yeah. So we are left with this. Now, let's look at our original equation. Our x is isolated. Well, we got an x here, right? We got an x. But it's all, these crazy things going on. It's squared, something is added to it. So let's remove all that. Let's isolate x as it is in the original. The x is isolated. And see if we can get this guy. So if we do, how do we isolate x? Well, we got the squarage. To get rid of an exponent, you just take the same root of that, power. So this is the second power, so we take the second root, square root it. And if we do on this side, we have to do to this. The root and the exponent cancel, so you're left with x plus b over 2a. And this is going to be, before I move on, I just want to do a little thing. Notice we got an a in each term right here. When you have that, you can easily factor it, right? You can factor an a. So let's do that. If I factor an a, I get b squared minus 4ac, because there are two a's and we're just factoring a 1, over 4a cubed. Alright, great. And look, we got two a's. We got one a here, and we got three a's here. So we can take one out. And then, so what are we left with? Well, the a is gone, so we're left with b squared minus 4ac. Hopefully that's, you recognize that. And we're left with a 4a squared, because we took one a out. Okay, I'm isolating x, so I'm going to move this b over 2a to the side. So I will get b squared minus 4ac minus b over 2a. We're almost done. Very close. Okay, now let's look here. We got this big square root sign. Let's simplify as much as possible. We won't simplify everything, we can't, but we can simplify the denominator. This we can't. We really can't. But this we can. It's the easiest. Okay. So we're still, I'm not simplifying the numerator, so I'm going to leave that squaring just to the numerator. But if I square root each piece here, I can get a nice answer. Square root of 4 is a 2. Square root of a squared is an a. Minus b over. Well, remember, I forgot completely to add this. When you square root, you're taking the positive and the negative square root. Okay, please never forget that. B over 2a. And look at this, we got the same denominators. Let's put it under the same denominator. One denominator. And I hope you don't mind if I put this in front. So this will be the first thing, and then I'll come this. This will come out right after. So first I'm going to have this, negative b plus or minus this numerator, b squared minus 4ac. And we said we are putting it under one denominator, which is 2a. And guess what? This is the quadratic formula. If I just open what I showed you in the beginning, that's the same thing. And it's just amazing how, it's just amazing how we got the quadratic formula out of what we really begin to work with. So I hope you understood this video. There were some parts that you need to carefully look at, because I may not be the best teacher or tutor, whatever you may call me. I thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Have a great day.